So what if the real win in life isn't about controlling what happens to you, but about how you react? Let's dive into an idea that can totally change how you handle stress and conflict, just by focusing on the one thing you can always control: your response.
Think about it. We spend so much energy trying to control everything: outcomes, situations, other people. But the truth is, you just can't control everything out there. The only thing you truly have 100% power over is what's going on in here. And that reaction, that's where you find the real win.
I mean, we've all been there, right? Someone cuts you off in traffic, a coworker makes some snarky comment, and bam, you feel that flash of anger. You snap back, your heart starts pounding, and maybe an hour later you're thinking, why did I let that get to me? In that exact moment, we are just giving our power away.
Now here's what's so fascinating. This isn't just you having a bad day or lacking willpower. It's actually a biological event happening inside your brain. When your emotions spike, your rational, logical, thinking brain gets temporarily taken offline. A much more primitive, ancient system literally hijacks the controls before you even get a chance to think.
And this whole event? It actually has a name. It's called an amygdala hijack. So let's break down exactly what's going on in your head when you feel like you're losing control.
This term was actually coined by the psychologist Daniel Goleman, and the key phrase to really latch onto here is out of proportion. It's that moment you go from 0 to 100 over something that, when you look back, really wasn't a true emergency. Your brain just thinks it's a huge threat, and it reacts with everything it's got.
And this visual just illustrates it perfectly. See, on the left, you've got the brain in a calm, cool, collected state. Information is flowing through your higher cortex. That's your smart, thinking brain. But on the right, when emotion takes over, the amygdala, your brain's little alarm system, goes off, takes charge, and basically hits the off switch on that logical part.
So how does this all happen so ridiculously fast? Well, you can think of it like this. Information coming into your brain can take one of two routes. Let's just call them the logical road and the hijack road.
All right, so normally you're on the logical road. Your senses send info to a little relay station called the thalamus. The thalamus passes it up to your cortex, your thinking brain, which mulls it over, considers the consequences, and helps you come up with a rational response. But on the hijack road, if the thalamus senses a major threat, it's all about speed. It completely skips the thinking brain and sends the signal straight to the amygdala. The result? An instant fight-or-flight reaction before you've even processed what's happening.
You have to remember, this system is ancient. It was incredibly useful for our ancestors when they were facing, an actual tiger. The problem is, that same alarm system can't tell the difference between a tiger and a stressful email from your boss. It just detects a threat and sounds the alarm at full volume.
Okay, this all sounds a little intense, right? It kind of feels like we're just hardwired to overreact. But here's the thing, we're not. There are proven, science-backed ways to stop that hijack dead in its tracks, bring your thinking brain back online, and take your power back. And it all starts with one of the simplest, yet most powerful things you can possibly do. Absolutely nothing at all. It all begins with the power of the pause.
This incredible quote from Viktor Frankl just nails it. That moment, that tiny little gap between what happens to you and how you react, that space is where all your freedom is. It's the moment you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, how do I want to respond to this?
And how long do you need? You're not going to believe this. Research suggests it's about 6 seconds. That's roughly how long it takes for all those stress chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline to start clearing out of your system. If you can just create a 6-second gap, you can start to win back control.
So, what do you actually do in that 6-second pause? Well, you use another amazing technique to get your thinking brain fired up again. It's called affect labeling, or more simply, just putting your feelings into words.
It sounds almost too simple to work, but the neuroscience behind it is solid. When you feel yourself getting hijacked, instead of getting swept away by the emotion, you just consciously observe it and give it a name. You literally say to yourself, okay, this is anger, or I am noticing that I feel anxious right now.
And this chart shows exactly what's happening in your brain when you do that. The simple act of naming the emotion literally turns down the volume in the amygdala, the alarm center, and turns up the activity in your prefrontal cortex, your thinking brain. You are physically shifting power from your emotional brain back to your rational brain just by putting a label on it. It's amazing.
Okay, so let's put this all together.
Let's build a practical step-by-step toolkit. The next time you feel that hijack starting, here's your game plan for winning your reaction.
It's a simple 4-step process. First, you pause. Do nothing for at least 6 seconds. Second, breathe. Take one slow, deep breath to calm your body down. Third, name the emotion. Mentally label what it is you're feeling. And finally, with your thinking brain back in the driver's seat, you get to choose your response, instead of just reacting on autopilot.
Now this is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. So here are a few simple exercises for your toolkit. First, try the 10-minute rule. If a text or email triggers you, just wait 10 minutes before you reply. That builds your pause muscle. Second, become a detective of your own emotions. Start noticing what your personal triggers are. The more you know them, the better you can anticipate them. Third, practice strategic silence. Realize that not everything is about you, and sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. And finally, learn to control the narrative. Every day, just try to take one negative situation and consciously reframe how you see it. Find the lesson, find a different perspective.
And let's be super clear about this. The goal isn't to become a robot or to stop feeling emotions. Your feelings are important data. This is about being the one in the driver's seat. You acknowledge the feeling, but you don't let it steer the car into a ditch. It is all about responding consciously instead of reacting blindly.
Ultimately, this is the big takeaway. The world is always going to throw stuff at you that is way outside of your control. The real victory, the real power, comes from mastering your inner world. Because the more control you have over your reactions, the less control the world has over you. Because look, life is going to test you. People will say things, situations will change. But now you have the tools. You know about that little space between what happens and what you do. Your reaction is always in your hands. So when you control your reaction, you control the outcome of your life. The only question is, how will you choose?